Alright, this is Day 2, Stage 2 of the IEM Toronto, Korea, and Taiwan qualifiers. I'm riffing casting tonight with Zombie Grub, and it is my pleasure and freaking honor to bring you this best of 3. There is a loser's bracket today, unlike the previous stage, so your favorite players in this first round are quote-unquote safe if they get knocked out. But they've only got the loser's bracket to fall back to. This isn't some wacky 3 live situation, hashtag Red Bull joke, I don't know. Anyways, let's get into these intros. Without dilly-dallying, spawning here, the bottom lower central portion on merry-go-round. It's going to be the red Zerg player, Sue.
In the upper right, as the blue Terran, it's KT Roasters Flash.
I wish I had caster cameras on right now so you guys could have seen just like how happy Zombie Grub looked doing that intro. But okay. There is a very serious thing to consider and address here for the Korean qualifiers. We see a lot of the most talented players, specifically Terrans I'll bring up, do a lot of 2-raxes, a lot of really wicked aggression. Just the fact that Flash has put his first barracks in his base, I am so happy and stoked for this game.
I mean, this is definitely the GSL finals. You know, because Sue is in it, of course, so he's probably gonna lose. Ha! Jokes everywhere, shots fired. But no, seriously, I mean, everyone always would love to see Flash get deeper in the GSL, so like, if he would, please Flash, please. Then this would be like a really cool, awesome finals that could have happened, maybe.
Well, I think, the thing about Flash too is like, you gotta consider too, for the fans at least, you guys sitting at home and enjoying this, like, there is no real like overhype in this match. Like you said, it could be the finals, it could be anything else. Instead, this is the first round in a best of 3 for like a qualifier. How crazy is that to consider? Every game, every matchup today is probably gonna be pretty darn good, and but we are seeing standard stuff as far as openings go out of both these guys, which really makes me happy here because merry-go-round is a very funny map. We're seeing a lot of Roach Hydra, even out of players that don't conventionally play Roach Hydra. But one thing I'm really excited about is whether it's Roach Hydra, whether it's Banelings, Zerglings, whatever, I want to see how Flash handles this because we've seen a lot of Terran players make great use of the new Widow Mines. We've seen a lot of Terran players get killed by the great use of the new Widow Mines, and we've also seen Zerg players struggling as well. But the one thing we've been seeing, I think most consistently across all regions, not just limited to the best in Korea or the worst in North America or what have you, is players are going back towards, or Terran players specifically, going back towards the older school builds. We're seeing a lot more Hellion Banshee or Reaper Hellion than we are Hellbat all-ins. Hellbat Marauders kind of completely fallen to the wayside. I don't even know the last time I've seen someone do that other than that first week when they made the change.
Yeah, it certainly is not. No. Oh, thank God.
Chinese caster. Oh, Chinese caster. You're giving us a bad rap here, man.
Bullet dodge, man. Bullet dodge.
Did you heart stop for a moment too? Because mine did.
Yes, no, totally. Absolutely. Usually I don't really care, honestly. Like, even when it's like a player I really like. But I feel like since they didn't let us last time, this is like an extra special moment.
There's this weird air of like exclusivity to this. So you control these links here really well, actually. And the Queen pops out just in the nick of time. You know, so many oftentimes we see the Reaper trade out, kill a couple Lings, and Zerg players don't really care because they, you know, the Reaper doesn't kill anything important. But by keeping the Lings alive, if Flash were to have gone for 3 Reapers, he would actually need those to keep those Queens alive. Queens are great against 1 or 2 Reapers, but when you get 3, that's when the killing potential really starts rising up. So Sue, it's a small detail, but he A, didn't make 6 Lings, and B, kept all 4 of them alive.
Of course, Flash only went for 1 Reaper. I mean, Reapers really aren't that great on merry-go-round, but then he got a Marine, so a little added difference right here. And of course, this is going to be really useful for keeping that Overlord away. You have no idea what Flash is doing. Which is, I mean, it's 3cc, so, but there's always the threat. That's what we always talk about. That's what the Hellbat change did for us, which was give us an actual threat that if you don't scout us, you still have to invest into maybe a Roachborn to make sure that it isn't Hellbats.
Well, I don't know, Hellbats, it's weird. There's some things in StarCraft 2 you kind of build into because you're always a little bit worried about. I think every Zerg player on the back of their mind is like, okay, Hellbats could quickly end my game if not ready for it, but I think Hellbats have kind of become more manageable as far as what people are willing to do. I mean, you get the Banelings up a little bit sooner, you get the Roach Warren out a little bit faster, maybe you go 5 Queens like Impact, but you're right, the one thing is you have to be able to scout that. With the 3rd CC coming down though, I mean, we know that Flash is not going to be doing that anytime soon, but sadly Sue has no information at the main, not even about gas timings, and not that it's a big deal, but this looks so weird. I just realized like the barracks is like kind of hidden in the tech lab behind the refinery.
That's pretty cool. I mean, Flash is definitely a player known for going mech. Maybe not necessarily on this map, or I don't know, but The further it goes back, I mean, the more they have to keep that guessing game going. And Sue has a little counterattack set up. Flash should actually, like, well, I mean, sometimes a lot of pro players are really paranoid about checking for stuff like this, so they go over to their third base location and they check, but...
Yeah. Well, one thing I'm a little bit worried about here, Reaper sadly is going to get picked up. He's not going to get to see live. Will actually be the first thing to die this game. Kind of crazy to consider, but I kind of assumed those Lings would have got to find live. Anyways, the point is, by losing that Reaper, it does kind of suck not getting back to the main. But Sue almost like, it's like a form of disrespect, like dancing on your opponent's grave. Throws down all of his tech right on top of where the Reaper died. One of the drones there does get a little bit stuck, but it's not like you're going to cancel the Baneley Nest to get him out.
Yeah. I mean, Flash, he saw that the third did go down, but I think it was actually a little late, so... And he also didn't see the Evo chambers at the front. They could have possibly put it in the main. A lot of other players are doing this just to mix it up, I guess, although I definitely still prefer the wall. But Flash might know, like, there's, you know, just a bit earlier of a layer coming, so, you know, a bit earlier of a Spire, but of course that means that the upgrades for Sue are going to be later. As you can see, not even starting +1/+1, and Flash is already halfway done.
Bit of an odd spot for that Spire. Not really exposed, but just so used to seeing this tucked behind the mineral lines of the main or something. And are you seeing these spikes too, or is it just me?
I saw them.
Okay, so we'll blame this on the Chinese guesser. Overlord was coming here to possibly block out with some creep spread, but not quite soon enough, not quite fast enough, so Flash will get his third base down. It's worth noting, it's not like he's ever cut SCVs. He's still got that really nice count of about 50. He's got Mules to be working with here too, but the one thing is his production's looking great. A lot of the time, Terran players, you'll find them sacrificing the extra racks to get the second engineering bay, or maybe you want to get the second, or you start your third CC a bit sooner so you sacrifice production. Flash is actually at this point now where he's able to produce a ton of Marines. I like this a lot, because while Sue hasn't shown a lot of aggression, you're going to need to be able to deal with it as soon as it comes, because all it takes is one round of larva injects to suddenly have 50 Lings available.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Flash knows what Sue is up to, you know, this faster Spire-wise, so I feel like that's why he was so comfortable putting down a 9-minute CC. Of course, there's also Flash, and Flash is a little bit greedy. Not Marine King, but still a little risky, a little greedy. Like, he didn't get a bunker at his natural for the longest time. It was concerning, but only because we knew that he didn't have that much scouting.
Well, he's got to control the watchtower for the time being. Does need to start taking away some of this creep spread out of Sue. I mean, Sue's got a couple units on the field, but hardly anything to really contend with this. I mean, 5 Banelings without speed. Yeah, you're going to have to give up those creep tumors.
Yeah, I mean, with all these Hellbats that did survive.
The one live one.
Okay,
there you go.
Yeah, very good. Sue is really, like, going, you know, ham on the right side, though, so that could become a problem. I mean, if he really dedicates into it, not only is this fourth completely covered, but it starts reaching Flash's third. Anytime he lifts up, suddenly it's creeping inside his own third. I don't know, it might be a problem, because a lot of the time, the attack path for the Terran is exactly what you see here. This is what you usually do, so the right side creep never gets cleaned up.
Well, another thing to consider, too, is for Sue, it looks a little bit odd to expand this way towards someone like Flash, but the reality is, well, hang on, we'll keep that thought on hold for the moment. We got Lings looking to dash off creep. Baneling's swirling off of creep. Not really an engagement Sue's going to want to have to take. I'm not sure why he's trying to force this out, but he will get some decent connections with the Banelings on top of the Hellbats, and thus will clean up the Marines, but right side of the field, that hatchery's under attack.
Yeah, well, I was actually able to save it because the Lings, it wasn't focus fire and it didn't stay near any mineral line. So we will damage it. It's out.
But the point I was going to make was, a lot of the times, you see players like Flash, they tear people apart because they're able to drop on the left and the right. You split the army in 2 and sometimes 3. For Sue, if he actually expands towards Flash, his defensive points will be the same as offensive points, kind of limiting the areas where Flash can catch him off guard like that. So this base seems a little bit crazy and a little bit bold, but I actually like this a lot.
It might be, you know, preferable to the one on the high ground on this little, like, island, because abusing that with Widow Mines is really effective. But you know what? Flash isn't going Widow Mines. He's going Hellbat Thor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to go, ooh, because Blue Flame Hellbats are always going to be good, but you just don't see them really utilized that much, because Widow Mines have just got that really crazy explosive capability to them. But if the Hellbats can deal with the Lings and the Thors can deal with the Mutas, the Marines actually become less of a necessity, but still, at this stage of the game, it's very important to keep them alive, so getting away from these Banelings. Look at that focus fire that was on the ground. Flash! How are you so good? Sue spiking up around 700 APM, and both players are still going to disengage from this fight.
Yeah. Sue just constantly always on the edge of creep. Not getting the best trades, but, you know, not bad either. And he is on 4 bases, making sure that Flash doesn't get an easy 4th either, which I don't think he's done on his 4th command center. No, he's going really aggressive with all his production. Actually, he doesn't need any more production? He's only on 5 racks. Well, soon he will anyways. It seems to be okay for now.
Well, see, this is where I'm thinking the logic tapers out, right? Like, you don't need 2 barracks producing 4 Marines at a time if you've got a combination Thor, rather, and Hellbats.
Yeah, he did get a pretty fast second factory, so I guess that's where his production's really kicking in.
It's weird to see concussor shells come out so late, but it's still going to find good effect in this game. Bailey's going to roll in once more, but this time on creep. Going to work a little bit better for Sue, but Flash is so good with his control. The focus fire has been insane, and the mutants get driven back once again.
Oh, where's the backup banelings? Oh, don't use your mutants for this.
It's 5 of them. It's not a lot of them.
Oh, that's not a lot. Nope.
You know, he's going to roll, and the thing is, it's not even the Marines that are that big of a threat, so much as it is the Thors that were coming out, but the Thors have been taken care of. The 4th base is going to fall on Sue. Well, he's not exactly out of the game yet, but he's in a lot of danger. 2-2's finishing up, but Flash has already started his own 3-3. It's a lot of banelings coming in, though.
Yeah, that was really important. I mean, I think these last 2 engagements has been Flash on 2-2, while Sue was not. The Marine count is surprisingly low, so he does take an engagement with his mutants, but still loses a lot. A lot of them are also really low, so 1 Thor shot could take a lot of them out. Oh, so many wasted banelings.
It's so disgusting just how good Flash is in this game, because you look at this and you're kind of like, wow, this looks easy, but I guarantee you guys, the reason you don't see this style is because it's anything but easy. It still takes a lot of control, and you can't ignore the Marines. So the splits, the focus fire, the banelings, it's all been so well handled by Flash this game.
Yeah. I think it all started off kind of, you know, not great when Sue took that engagement off creep and then got that drop, but also, like, you know, the fact that he had to take, you know, the blow to his upgrades to get these faster mutas, which didn't really do anything, you know? They didn't get free medevac kills when he tried to pick up and leave. He just, you know, took a favorable engagement.
They are what's keeping him in the game right now, though. I mean, it's worth noting.
Yeah, I mean, well, you would have had muted at this time anyway, so... But, like, there was no counterattack. There was no, like, Flash, like, you know, freaking out because mutas were in his base, like, a minute earlier than he expected. He didn't pick up with that 12-minute medevac attack and then lose both medevacs, you know, thinking, oh, he doesn't have mutas yet. Like, there's none of that. He just took engagement off creep and kind of traded evenly. And since then, Flash has always had that upgrade lead, which is pretty important in this matchup.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that. You know, here's the thing, too, guys. The reason this is kind of working out, composition-wise, is, like, I guarantee you, despite the control that Flash is executing, this style probably would not be favorable. Was it still like prior to the Thor AI change?
Oh.
Nice missile turret to the main, actually. Not quite going to get a lot of mutas, but it will buy enough time for the Marines to stem on over. Even repairs the 1 turret that he has there.
I definitely prefer when Terrans, like, really throw down a lot of missile turrets rather than being, like, stingy with it. I think, you know, that's the best thing to do.
My favorite is watching Joxy get fed up. Like, Joxy's a good player, but you can tell when he's had enough, because he doesn't throw down like 3 or 4 turrets like this. He throws down like 6 or 8. And he's just like, nope.
Especially this planetary, which Flash might do. Flash is taking a 4th, by the way, and now we're kind of seeing the supplies finally get different. So has been even up until now, but now it's 20 below. Yeah, Flash is feeling so confident going on a creep this far.
I don't blame him, though. There's not a lot of Banelings to deal with. Banelings can connect to every ground unit in the army, and he's still going to have better reinforcements than Sue will. So trading here the best he can. Sue going to try and dodge around those Hellbats. Wasn't quite enough. Banelings are going to get on top of this, though, and the mutalisks are still quite plentiful. Starting to dissipate now, though. The Thor's still standing, and the Marines just shelling away from below. He's lost another base in all of this, and even if he drives us back, every time Stu takes 1 step forward, Flash beats him 2 steps back.
Yeah. Would have loved to have this engagement before his 3rd died, but now he's down a base economy, and, you know, his drone count is not really that high at 55 versus 58.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that, but he can't mine comfortably. Look at this one base. It's so exposed. There's actually a whole base missing in between. GG is going to be called. Ladies and gentlemen, Flash will take game number 1.